Okay, so for this video, let's plan out our pattern. So I'm gonna want a nice center for my middle flower, so I generally do that. I can kind of start to darken up my petals a little bit, and I'm just gonna kind of do like these two wedges here to get my plan down. So kind of darken up my flower here within my wedge. Okay, so, and then of course I have this circle. And I want these lines here. And I kind of mess these lines up. A lot of times when you make a mistake and you get the lines a little bit like thick in an area or something, the more you try to correct it, the more it's gonna stand out. Sometimes you have to let the little mistake go so that you don't create a huge one once you start putting in the ink and the Sharpie, okay? And if you're a perfectionist, that's difficult. I know. Okay, so one of the things that I like to do on this big one, I'm going to darken it up here because when we erased it kind of faded it out. I like to create a double border on the inside and try to keep it as even as you can. So I try to run them as evenly parallel as I can along the edge of the petal. All right, so I'm going to end up with that. And then I kind of like to put in this little, it's like a petal. It's kind of like the petal we did here, but I like to color it in, all right? Because we want to try and create heavier, darker, thicker sections. And the idea is to create some balance in our design. So we'll have like thicker, heavier lines and then, you know, spread throughout, evenly balanced throughout our design. And then thinner, finer lines. And in this case, like I know I want this guy colored in. So he's gonna be a dark, heavy section. And we'll have to make sure that we create multiple portions of that. I have this heavy, dark center. Now I have that. I'll need to put something as we move out as well. And again, I'm using my circles. I can still kind of see this circle here. I'm using that and this center where the color transitions to know where to put this little Hershey Kiss guy. And then of course, you know, color him in. Okay, So then I just have to keep thinking about kind of like what am I gonna want within my pattern. And I see like I have this line here that shouldn't be there. It won't really come out because it's yellow. But we have this line, and I think I want to try and go across there with little bitty circles. So it should, I think I have 6 here, but that last one was too squished, so I went 5. So there should be, you should be able to put 5 per deal. And I actually, I want this line to be a little bit thick, so I can color it in thick. And then draw in the little circles as evenly as you can get them, okay? So, you can also use a thicker Sharpie, like, so those will be, I like to keep that option where you have the thicker Sharpie in order to go through and create that heavier line, okay? So, I also think, as I'm looking at this, that I would like this to be a thicker line. Again, you guys turn your paper as you're trying to draw the line. I went all the way around, even though I'm just doing this wedge to kind of demonstrate what I like to do. I also think I'm gonna do 3 circles. Let's do them here where you can, that yellow is causing all kinds of problems. So like a larger circle, a medium, and then a small, right? So we're gonna do that. And I'm probably gonna have to, once I get it, the size and placement in with this small Sharpie, go back with my big one to get it to cover, to make coverage on this yellow. Problem solving on the fly. There we go. Okay, so now, let's see, with this, okay, with this petal, oh my goodness. There we go. We will outline it, and then I want to create like a teardrop in between each one that will get colored in. And kind of like a petal line, slightly curved petal line. This yellow is not going well. There we go. Okay, so I think we will do, here's my big one. We will darken these guys and make this kind of a thick line. And I think, as I'm looking at it, I really want this line. We're getting a little bit heavy on the thick, but I think the rest of my my lines through here are gonna be thin. So in the middle here, coming up this line, if I can find a Sharpie that works. I'm going to do a spiral, and I'm going to do another matching one on this side, and then a little teardrop flower bud in the middle. Okay, and then in between the petals, an arc, and these will be concentric parallel arcs, which helps to kind of tie in this other parallel line situation we had going down here. It helps create some symmetry and balance. Once it touches there, then I just start doing the lines all the way out. And we'll do the same on the other side. Keep this line thin, but I am going to kind of go back over it, clean it up a little bit. So this is I'm getting my pattern here. I think that I would like to create another sort of border inside here. Run a line down the middle. Create sort of a veined leaf look. In the middle, I'm going to match up my leaf lines and make them even. Okay. So this is the pattern that I'm looking at so far. So basically what I would do from here, I've got each row, what I want to do in each row. I would go through and I would do the whole rest of the thing. And then I will look at it overall and see if I need to add anything else. So let's go ahead and do that and finish out our pattern. Okay, and here is our finished product. I've got all the detail and everything added to my mandala. I've got weighted heavy lines. I have colored in areas dispersed throughout. These are heavy lines. I have repetitive line features throughout, so this mandala looks very balanced, and it has a lot of detail and interest, so that is what we're looking for.